Then let's stick with you as we move on to the stairs hurdle. Paisley Park is 13-8. Faugheen into 4-1 now. You love this horse. You are the senior member of the Faugheen fan club for the stairs hurdle.
He's the most magnificent beast I've seen for a very long, well, actually, since I woke up. You know.
That's an image
Well, it's just
nobody in the audience or watching at home wants it tonight.
If you've got it, why not admit it? But anyway, he is a fantastic horse for him. He's an absolute monster of an animal. Paisley, look, I don't think there's any competition in this race. I think absolutely one or t'other or one will win. It will be Paisley Park or it will be Faugheen. Paisley Park has emerged from nowhere and has the perfect running style for this race. Stays really strongly, can just run in the middle of the pack, can go forward, he can do anything he likes on Paisley Park from what we've seen. And the horse clearly has a favourite's chance. But he's never met anything like the class of Faugheen. Although I will get shouted down here by some people, I am absolutely sure Faugheen would have beaten Apple's Jade if he hadn't fallen. Ruby had just looked round. Ruby is certain. He told the owner he was going to win it. I have no doubt in my mind he was going much, much better than Apple's Jade at that stage of the race. I appreciate the Apple's Jade fan club will disagree, but they need to go and watch the race. Faugheen showed there that he's still got an engine. And the other thing is, only in April last year, he destroyed the stairs hurdle winner in Penn Hill. And again, admittedly, most of you lot seem to have backed Faugheen that day. But despite getting that easy lead at the start, he still showed he's a monster horse. And Paisley Park's not met anything like this. You know, it's the pace at halfway in this race that is going to change this race to anything that Paisley Park's ever had. If Faugheen is skipping along Faugheen pace midway, Paisley Park is going to be niggled to keep up because his pace is in a different league to anything he's ever faced before. So the machine will win, but if he retires, it will be Paisley Park.
So if he does a big bucks on it, it'll be Paisley Park. Jamie, what Faugheen did at Punchestown was sublime, but the quotes afterwards, they talked about going novice chasing with them. They talked about possibly a tilt at the 4-miler. They were all over the shop in terms of where he was going to go between Rich Ritchie and Willie Mullins.
National Hunt Chase.
They were
Are you sure you read that
They
right?
were going to, Patrick Mullins wanted him in the 4-miler, and Rich Ritchie was happily talking
Patrick
about
Mullins wants every horse in the Mullins
Hence
Garden
why
in the
Ballyward
4-miler.
is going for it. If you wouldn't mind, though, I would quite like to speak to the former champion amateur Jamie Cott. Thanks very much. As we move along, as at 11 years of age, is this the kind of preparation? The last time he did that in Ireland, Ted Walsh destroyed him in Leopardstown. He was walking around like a ghost afterwards. Jamie, is this a case of Faugheen's last chance, the last roll of the dice for him? Or do you really think they can actually win the stairs?
I think it is competitive, like, you know, it's been competitive in Cheltenham. This is his last roll of the dice, definitely. And he's the classiest horse in this race. You know, Paisley Park has come through there. Paisley Park finished 18th maybe last year in the Albert Bartlett. He was absolutely mapped, and he's come on this year and he's ran, you know, he's won his grade 1 and he's been back. But like Faugheen on form is just better than all of these. You know, I suppose if you're looking for a horse maybe with a bit of form to come back to, is Kilbrick and Storm. Went chasing, didn't jump well enough over fences, and now he's back in a stairs hurdle, and he had all those horses beaten last year in the Albert Bartlett. So, you know, he's a tough, hardy horse. Colin Tizzard's horses are coming back to a bit of form. If you're looking for something for a bit of value, he's probably the one. But Faugheen on what he is, he probably should win this.
So Matt, you got backed up there by Jamie. Faugheen, 4-1. Barry, what about you? Stairs hurdle.
We're all in the Matt camp. Yeah, I think Paisley Park is very opposable. Faugheen or Super Sunday for me. But Faugheen's run in Punchestown, I think that's at a way higher level than what Paisley Park has done this year.
Does Super Sunday really stay 3 miles in your view?
I wouldn't judge him on last year's race. It was a very slow run race last year. And if anything, he might have lacked the pace where Penn Hill had the pace. That would be the question mark about him, where Faugheen on the other hand is proven. That's what I think Paisley Park will struggle to even deal with the two of them.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
they're the best opposition he's met so far this year.
And to be fair, Super Sunday is bringing in the Appleshade form. So if she's gone and won the champion hurdle, you won't be happy about that,
Even
obviously.
if she's a good second in the champion hurdle, Super Sunday, still it's good form.
Good second to Bouvier, obviously.
Obviously, that's
Tony, 3 votes for Faugheen. Is it just that last roll of the dice for Willie? Can you see it?
Oh, jeez, I couldn't be more negative on this Faugheen.
Let him have it,
look,
Tony.
No,
Let
no,
him have it.
Look, he was 10 or 12 to 1 a fortnight ago, and 100% that was probably a bet, 10 or 12 to 1. He's 4 to 1 now, right? What have we got? Last season, a lot of yo-yo performances, up and down. Punchestown, he's robbed a bit of a lead, and nothing else has been able to get into it. It's a good run, though, right? This year, he's punted off the boards in the Morgiana, and Sharjah beats him, right? It beats him well. Now, the Mullins' crowd are talking out of both sides of their mouth. Some are saying he was very fit. Some are saying he wasn't fit at all. So we don't really know where we are with that. Now, sectional times would say he hadn't a hope in hell of picking up Appleshade in Leopardstown the way it was run. Regardless of that, all we have is a slowly run race in Leopardstown where Ruby says he was travelling. It's a slowly run race. They're all fucking travelling, right? It doesn't mean anything. Right? So that's what we've got. We've got a bad run in the Morgiana and Ruby telling us he was travelling well, and he's 4 to 1 and he's 11 and he ran badly at the festival last year. Now, I can make me peace of backing him at 10 to 1, but a 4 to 1, I think he's a pretty bad price. So Paisley, Kevin, you want in on Faugheen as well?
I'd be in it much the same, but I think he was going to run well behind Appleshade. But as much what you say is a factual fact. Now they went very steady that day, and he was spotting Appleshade, whatever it was, 2 or 3 lengths there at the second last. It was a big task to pick her up. But the one thing I'd say about the performance was, with a view to the stayers hurdle, you'd be delighted with it because he settled and he jumped and he did things right, which would always be a concern about a champion hurdler going up that far in trip. So I was happy with him that day. And like you now, I was kind of singing a bit in the Faugheen hymn sheet now when he was 14, 12, 10s, but I think people have got a bit excited now the type of price he is now. I'd love to see him run well. Jeez, would tear the place down if he did, but Paisley Park, lads, if you're sending an order off to the factory to make a stayers hurdle horse, he'd be what you'd send off the order for. You know, he stays really well. He's always a little bit behind the bridle. He's efficient.
Is that a crock of shit, though? This thing about them behind the bridle, like most of the yokes that are behind the bridle are then falling out the back of the telly 2 furlongs out. Like, when Solwit won the stayers hurdle, he fucking sat on the bridle the whole way, and I'll tell you, Davy Russell was very happy. Big Bucks was this bloody exception, a super horse that came off the bridle in English Streaver. But I'll tell you, I can't speak to you, lads. I'd say you'd love to be travelling 2 furlongs out and onto the pump.
I doubt Davy was happy when Solwit was travelling on the bridle.
Yeah, maybe.
And Carberry sitting on him.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. That's fair. I'm sorry. That's fair enough. You got me there, Barry. But I don't know. I'd rather be sitting on a yoke that's travelling in any race than a yoke that's pumping along.
You know, if you have a lad who has the pace but races behind the bridle is what you want. Like Big Bucks used to hit the flat spots. You never saw Ruby hit him a tear down the neck around the arse on these flat spots because the flat spot was only a bit of a smoke screen, if you like. Because when he wanted the horse and he give him a proper kick and a squeeze, vump, off he went. That's what you want. You know, it's a classy horse who's not running with the choke out. Because any horse going with the choke out, they're going to pay the price for that in the last half a mile. So, but I think Paisley Park is slower. I don't think he is behind the bridle, but he's also slow behind the bridle. He's not, you know, running in third gear, waiting to explode.
I don't know, lads. Like he was taking on, and I know you'll slag me for saying that he was taking on all the best staying hurdlers in England last time. And I know there's much better horses in Ireland. But Jesus, lads, he absolutely whomped him, and the race was over at the last. The way he picked up.
There were moments in that race when he wasn't always travelling.
But I think that's him.
But if he's not travelling against horses like Sam Spinner, he might not travel against a horse like.
But it was a well-run race. That's
overly strongly run, I would say.
Low standards.
You've got a bit confused somewhere along the line with your behind the bridle.
I'm always confused, actually. You know, the standard, like.
Because trust me, when Appleshade was against Faugheen, no other horse in that race was travelling when Faugheen came down. They were all fucked.
Because there was all rubbish behind him.
Yeah. Exactly. So they weren't all on the bridle, I'm afraid. That is just absolute
If you look back at Papamna, he was fairly travelling at the second last.
Yes, but he was about half a mile behind them.
Yeah, you can look at that. That's the jockey with that.
But look,
he's only beaten 26 and a half lengths.
But I'd be delighted with Paisley Park. I think in a better race, which this clearly is now in the Stayers Hurdle, I think he'll be better again because they can ride him with a little bit more patience. He'll get a lead for longer because I don't think he's a horse you want hitting the front too soon. And I'd say the last day was the first day he ever really galloped away. He saw his 2 ears up in the air, but he galloped away, to be fair. I was really impressed with that. And look, Faugheen,
What horse doesn't have 2 ears up in the fucking hair? Like, they all have ears on the top of their head and they all go up in the air.
Do you ever fucking watch racing at all, do you? Jesus.
You'll be telling me that a horse who's got his ears pricked has lots left in the locker, except when they cross the line, they all have their bloody ears pricked.
They don't when they're fucking noses on the ground, exhausted. But look,
Racing nonsense.
I'd be delighted with Paisley Park. I think he's just what you want for the race. Look, the price is squeezing up away the whole time. But if you're asking me for the winner, it's Paisley Park.
All right.
After all that, the favourite. Thanks, Kev.
Tony, for you?
There's a couple of outsiders to give a bit of chance to. I'd give Black Up a bit of a chance. He went way too hard the last day. Savage run last year at the meeting behind Sam Crow. That was very good on the clock. I don't buy that he's a non-stayer, to be honest. I think he, coming back from chasing, excellent run in the Cleve. Bit better ground than suit. Bye, Johnny.
I have...
Don't be listening to me order, lads.
Keep going. Anyway, I'd give him a bit of a chance, and I think Willie has a couple that have a chance there. But Cardy's off a similar prep to last year. He was running well at Leopardstown at Crisps. And, yeah.
Johnny's got you covered, lads.
When you said there were fluffers tonight, I didn't know that's what you meant.
Just in that confusion, Tony, can you just confirm your selection for the stairs?
Yeah, I give Black Up a bit of a chance.
Black Up, all right.